What's up, everybody? Week 2 in the books. It was a wild, wild week of Super Liga. Let's get right into week's 2 results, the matchups. We're going to the Fire Division first. The Flint Tropics hit 187 against the Gridiron Throne. Mike, you hit 151. Break it down, Mike. Break it down.
I'd rather not. No, I'm just kidding. Man, I had another subpar week. Like, it wasn't even necessarily a bad week. 150 points isn't anything to sneeze at, but I lost, and so that's all that matters. I guess Josh Allen continued to under deliver for me. He got 20 points, which when you draft a quarterback number 1, which you should never do, you expect
but you expect
30 you expect like 30 points or more, and it's definitely not cutting it right now.
I think Mahomes is probably the only
probably so
back in the draft. I think.
Yeah. Fathers, don't let your sons grow up to be men who draft quarterbacks in the first round.
With that being said, I think though, Josh Allen still scored 20.6, and on the other side, Flint Tropics had 10.48 scored by Dak Prescott. So it's not like he killed you on that side, and he did the first week.
Yeah, the bulk of the difference where I lost the game was because I got Derrick Henry, which I've been Derrick Henry before, and it never feels good. Basically, if you play Derrick Henry against me, he's going to score 50 or more points. So just keep that in mind if you're strategizing against me. But I mean, what can I say? I lost.
Yeah, I mean, you had Devontae Adams who scored 31 points, and Keenan Allen who scored 28 points. You know, those are your 2 highest scorers. You had 150.76 points scored, but yeah, Derrick Henry 61 almost.
That's insane,
and
man.
Then, he had some decent performances from like Zeke. Elliott scored 17.7, Gronkowski 19.9.
Yeah.
That's pretty much. I mean, Buda Baker
Buda Baker
26 points, but I mean, Derrick Henry put up 60. That's tough.
Yeah, and I left some points on the bench this week, but I mean, I didn't expect Jarek McKissick to go off this week, which, I mean, I don't know if you ever expect him to. And also Sutton, the wide receiver, he put up 35 points, which I didn't really do the math, but
I don't mind the Sutton like as an automatic start.
Yeah, I think I put him in my roster this week.
With Judy out, he's like the man. I think you probably should look into starting him next game.
Yeah, I think he's in my lineup next week. I got to double check, but I'm pretty sure he is.
But anywho, Flint Tropics moved on to 1-1. Gridiron Throne to 0-2 in the division. Very, very important games. Mike, you got to get a win this week, bud.
Yeah.
So do I. That's cool.
I ain't the only one.
The next matchup we're looking at is the Bangkok Lady Boys 1-1-1 to Kulon Santo, who could not be with us here today. He scored 169. I think Kulon played another good game. I mean, we talked about his team last week about how scary it looked, and he didn't do as well as he did last week, but 169 is nothing to scoff at. His team's still rolling.
I think we're really lucky that the Saints are going through what the Saints are going through right now, whatever the hell it is, because their offense has just been fucking garbage.
Dog shit, yeah.
Because, dude, once they fix that and Kamara gets
once America.
Once Kamara gets going, I mean, he's gonna be even scarier than he already is,
Once America gets going, Saints will get going again.
Yeah, dude. I think Kyler Murray's in the running for freaking MVP already, man. At least fantasy MVP. I mean, 2 huge games, 60 points. I mean, the guy's a beast. He might. Shit, in redraft, he might be the first QB off the board next year if he keeps this up. Like it's pretty impressive.
I retract what I said last. Kyler Murray is worthy of a first round pick too.
Yeah, I made the wrong first round pick.
Off of these 2 games, he 100% is 60 points, man. Come on, you're playing anybody who's scoring 60 points. Chances that you win are very, very slim.
Yeah, it's crazy because he did 400 yards right the nose, dude. So that bonus right on the nose, 400 yards. That's awesome. Good for Coulon, man.
That's the 20-point bonus. Julio
that's
Jones,
nuts.
29.8, finally shows out with his new team. He had 6 for 8 for 128. No touchdowns, but hit the bonus. And then other than that, man,
that's pretty much it. Juju got him 16.
Before, but it was the Kyler and Julio show. And then for Bangkok, man, I think it might have been our lowest score of the week. We'll talk about that a little bit later. His highest scorer was his IDP, Kenneth Murray, with 20 points. So brutal when you're going up against the QB who puts up 60. It's hard to fight that. So we'll see. But Bangkok falls to 1-1. Coulon Santo undefeated 2-0 in the division. That's very, very important. Let's move on to the win division. The Golden Dragons 161 over easy 139. She scored over 200 last week. Didn't quite get the ball rolling this week. Golden Dragons, we kind of gave them a hard time about starting 3 running backs, but it definitely worked. He shut us up this week, 161.
For sure.
And man, break it down.
Well, dude, Tyreek Hill, man, with only 5 points after coming off of a 50 burger, only getting 5 points a week too. That's a tough break, man.
I was about to say I've had Tyreek on my teams before, and he does that on occasion, dude. Like he'll put up a monster game and then follow it up with
he'll put 5 points up one week and then 80 the next.
80 the next week. Good luck, whoever's playing them next.
You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
Feast or famine. Feast or famine.
Feast or famine. Yeah, dude. Aaron Rodgers, the bounce back shitter of the week candidate with the 35.8 points. Up from his negative 4 points last week. I mean, that was a solid performance. Feasting on the Lions.
Was it ever going to be somebody else? Perhaps not.
Right. Just a turd rising from the grave, dude. Just freaking coming back and getting a decent score.
You see poor shitty little fingers coming out of the ground.
Yeah. Oh shit! And then Najee Harris kind of flashing. Najee Harris flashing a little bit. 19.10 points. Maybe it's the start of things to come for the rookie. We'll see.
Definitely. For over easy, she had Russell Wilson, who showed out 44 points. Nick Chubb 19.8. But after that, Godwin was at 16.2, and then her IDP had 23.
Yeah.
Dude, one note here, dude. Like IDPs this year are going off, man. I don't know.
Crazy.
I didn't change any of this the scoring, but they're going off, man. It's crazy.
I was wondering that. I was like, is the scoring any different, or what the fuck's going on? And there's another league that we're in that pretty much copied the same exact stats, or like in the same exact layout that we have in a different league, and IDPs are going off there too. It's just like I think IDP scoring is just up. It's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude. For some of these teams, IDP was their highest scorer. So that was the first game in the win division. The Golden Dragons is now 1-1. Over easy now 1-1 as well.
Yeah.
The next matchup is the Bad Hombres 169 to Muff Vipers 199. Chris, man, you're falling short again, but it's not because your team didn't score or put up points. You just went up against the squad that put up close.
Bro, you just got muffed, bro.
I got muffed, bro. 2 weeks in a row. I got fucking muffed. Dude, it's crazy. Like I feel like my squad is just like, they're like lunch pail kind of guys. Like, hey, bro, we're going to give you fucking 20 points. Like everybody's just going to give me 20 some odd points. They're going to do their job. They're not going to be super stellar, but they're not going to let me down. And I'm going to get a score somewhere around 160, 170. But fuck, bro, if my opponents are going to average 200 points against me every week, I'm going to be fucked, okay? Because that's what's going on. And I know, Jose, you're dealing with this too. I think our two squads are the highest scored on, and our opponents are averaging 200 points right now a week. And I don't know if we can – I mean, if that's hard to overcome, bro. I don't know if my squad can put up 200 consistently.
I scored over 180 last week against Jose, and he beat me, so.
Yeah, you see it. I mean, it happens, bro. It's pretty tough. But yeah, man, like – I mean, I can't even be. I like my squad, bro. They're scoring points. I think I need to fix the DST. I need to fix the IDP. I need to figure that out because this year, like you said, Tom, the IDP position is more important than it has been in the past.
Yeah.
And maybe the Marlins auto draft was onto something when he fucking auto drafted 4 IDPs like from the 8th to the 12th round. It's crazy, man. Like I really.
We might have to flex an IDP next year. I mean,
hey, baby.
Allah.
Make them flex. Make them flex available. We can fucking figure that out. But yeah, I mean, and I'm about to say, like, I went up against, the Muff Vipers who got a really big score from Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett just went off, man. Went off for 45.
2 weeks in a row now he's been
down.
Yeah,
and it's I know it's weird because I know last year him and DK were kind of going back and forth as far as like having big games, and right now Tyler Lockett's just kind of having all of the big games right now.
I think he did something similar to this last year.
Yeah,
I feel like Lockett was kind of like the favorite, and then all of a sudden, like towards the end, it just like Lockett's
DK
caught up to him, and then it was the DK show.
As the
I think it's gonna happen. I think you're right.
Yeah,
DK's on my squad.
DK's gonna take over eventually.
He's getting the looks, man. He had like 10 targets this week or more or something like that. It's just he can't get it together right now. It's just not happening. But he's getting the targets. It's gonna happen eventually. Anyways, Tyler Lockett's balling out.
Balling the fuck out, man.
Who else?
Well, here's the other thing, man. Really, I'm looking at. I mean, the DST. His DST got 22 points. My DST only got me 6. I think last week my DST got me -4. So I think I've been the margin of point differential between those 2 games is like I'm like -38 points or something. Yeah. I can't have that happen. Like my bad DST picks are being made worse because I'm literally going up against like the top DST or the top 2 DST every week, or for the first 2 weeks at least. And so it's just like it's that's kind of what's killing me right now too. So I just got to do a better job at picking DST and IDP, and I think I'll be back into the swing of things. So I'm not gonna panic yet. I'm not gonna panic, but you don't want to be in an 0-2 hole, especially with our playoff rules and the way the tiebreakers work.
Yeah.
I know Tom and Jose. I know you guys had pretty rough starts last season, and actually made it into the playoffs. So I'm gonna try to channel those energies that you guys had, and try to do the same thing here this year.
Did y'all slaughter a goat or something? What do I got to do here?
Yeah, I know, right? One last thing on Eric for the Muff Vipers.
You gotta make trades, Mike.
Yeah, right. You gotta make some trades. But one last thing for the Muff Vipers is
make some trades.
And I don't want to say this out loud because I feel like he's gonna do it. But dude, once he fixes his Saquon Barkley thing, and I feel like the only reason why he's playing him is because maybe he drafted him so high, man. But the top rusher for the New York Giants is Danny Dimes, man. Like last year, he was the leading rusher for the Giants. And that being said, like Singletary, if he would have played him both weeks, first week and last week, he still would have outscored Barkley by a pretty decent margin too.
Yeah,
for Singletary, and again, it's not the best. It's not ideally but just going with last year's trend and kind of what you're seeing right now.
It could be game script, man. Like I know his knees a little banged up, and he only got 13 carries. It's not like he got 20 plus. He got 13 carries and 57 yards. So I get it. I understand. I mean, you have Saquon on your squad. You have to play him at least at the flex position, right?
Yeah. And there might be some future value there too. Like I could see Saquon joining another team next season or the season after that, and like having a revitalization with his career. So there could be some
Damn, that would be fucking wild, bro. That would be wild.
That was the last matchup in the Win division. Move on to the Earth division. Dem Lions 219 might be the highest score. I believe it's the highest score.
Oh yeah.
Poppy, who scored 200.
Scored 200 and lose.
Scoring that much fucking points.
And you got the week on Sleeper. The week 2 report has Vino Poppy being the best manager, and you lost. That's rough.
You played the best possible lineup you could, and you lost, bro.
Yeah. Best
Jesus.
possible.
Damn.
But now, really quickly, talking about IDPs going off. Did y'all peep that?
Yeah, I saw that. That's crazy.
I just saw that right now.
Bobby Wagner had 60 points.
Did he?
I just saw that. What the fuck?
Dude,
How does that happen?
Did he
that's
like?
what
Did he like?
tackles, dude?
Did he like
and then
eat an
bonuses
offensive
on
lineman?
tackles?
I
and then
don't
they
even
went into
remember, man.
overtime. And then they went
he
into
went over-
overtime. And so he kept getting more tackles, man, just
Jeez.
racking them up.
Bobby
He had 20
Wags just fucking dropping
He had
60
One
on us.
sack and 20
Yeah.
tackles, dude.
20
If you're-
tackles and sacks.
If your linebacker is getting, if your IDP is getting 60 points, I mean, is he like
Bro.
fucking eating an offensive lineman during
Bro,
the game?
what
or
is,
what
dude?
the
What
fuck
is
he
your
doing?
what is your jock strap smell like after 20 tackles, bro? Jesus fucking Christ! It's just obliterated. It's just like fucking a G-string at that point, just barely hanging on. 20 goddamn tackles, dude. That might have taken a year off of his life. Like that's insane, bro.
He's,
60 points.
Bobby Wagner's up there in age too, right? Like he's not a.
That is. Bro, they shouldn't let you make 20
31.
tackles in a fucking game, bro. That should be illegal. They should cap you at like 15 and then like take you off the
He's
field.
not
Like,
that
yeah,
up
bro,
there.
you met your quota.
There's definitely some older linebackers. He's 31, but yeah, he's
What I'm saying is he's been in the league, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
he,
dude.
dude.
he did he had a great game. But let's look at them Lions real quick, man. On the other side of the ball, them Lions just had like everyone perform except for CEH, who's been a disappointment, I think, thus far. But Tannehill, 24.58. Aaron Jones finally showed out. He had a rough week, along with the rest of the Packers last week, but he had over 40. Cooper Kupp, 48.8, almost 50. He's balling as well. Mike Williams, 22.10. TJ Hawkinson, 20.6. Dalvin Cook, 26.8. I mean, what do you do? What can you do?
Yeah. I mean, Jose, I guess you were going into that Monday game, and you were probably up by 20 something points. You felt a little confident going into that game, right? I mean, maybe Aaron Jones gets pulled if it's a blowout, like
Yeah. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Jarvis, obviously, I didn't even realize that he was hurt until way after. The game.
Jarvis? I thought it was Harvis.
What?
Nothing.
That's crazy.
Landry. Anyways. Yeah, so Landry goes out. They kind of offset each other, and then where he really had me beat was, obviously the running back position. And when you're running back and you're just one of your receivers are both getting 40 apiece, it's really hard to. Yeah. Just that by itself is really hard to go against. Luckily, they had that IDP that kind of also helped offset it. But going into Monday, he had Ryan Tannehill and Hawkinson.
Hey man, Jose, but like realistically, dude, if Bobby Wagner doesn't have 60 points, you're
exactly.
Really
no, I agree. That's what I'm saying, dude. The only reason I was even remotely competitive, because realistically, what 20 to 30 points for an IDP at this rate, right?
Yeah.
So that would have made I still would have lost by
25 points for an IDP is like a great game.
Decent,
so 60, get out of here.
Yeah.
But Dem Lions is one of those guys who took a lot of running backs early. And so some of us, a lot of us weren't really too focused on running back dynasty, but I mean, his team looks scary, man. He has a few of the best backs in the league, and it's a scary squad to win now, I think.
Yeah, no surprise,
dude. And I don't know if y'all saw on Sunday, Dalvin Cook, dude. I jumped up like 3 or 4 times when I saw him go down, and the motherfucker just kept coming back. I don't know. You saw him go down. He's like grabbing his knee and
stuff. You're rooting for a guy.
Yeah.
I like, bro. You're not, but like
ACL.
It's like you're not right because it's messed up. But it's just like when you're playing against them, it's just like, just let him sit out like for like half, the rest of the game or so. You know what I mean? But
bro,
dude, it happened
no,
3 times.
He's like the Undertaker, bro. He just fucking sits right back up.
Not all the time, because he has an injury history. I had him 1 year and he was hurt. So
yeah.
So that was the Earth Division's first matchup. The next one was the Chimps 176, the Farthoons 138. Man, I had a good game, a good week. Week 1, I scored 180 plus. I was happy with my roster. I'm still happy with my roster, but I mean, this week they just came out and shat. They shat all over that bed, man.
Yeah.
And then Chimps, man, Patrick Mahomes, 45. Gary Terry's the one who buried me, man. He had 40.7. Chris is frozen. It looks like he's shitting.
Yeah.
He'll be back though.
They thought you said Shart Hounds.
Yeah. Well, I'm called the Fart Hounds because we usually stink. My team usually stinks. But yeah, Tom Brady at 38 for me. I started Brady over Lamar. We'll get into that later.
Yeah. I mean, I think you made the smart choice ahead of time.
No, for sure. I mean, Brady's more consistent than Lamar is.
Yeah.
Lamar, scored a few more points, but set 8 more points than him.
Yeah.
But I was about to say Joe Mexican. Joe Mixon.
All kinds of. You got America, Joe Mexican.
Justin Jefferson, 18.5. DK Metcalf, we were talking about him a little bit earlier. He had 11 targets, only 6 receptions, 53 yards, but he's he's committing unsportsmanlike conduct penalties every week. That doesn't show up in here. I'm just saying, man, he's got to get his head right. 11.3 from DK, and then Cole Kmet, 1 point, a single point, not 1.1, 1 point. It was 1.0.
He got 1 reception and didn't even get yardage for it.
Yeah, Deebus Samuel, 17.10. And then my IDP, sorry, my screen closed out. IDP scored 19.5, Levante David. But yeah, man, Mahomes scored 45 for for the Chimps. And McLaren scored 40, and then after that, it's just he had some decent performances from Hopkins and Andrews and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but overall,
everything else was pretty well matched up with your team, with your teams.
Yeah, I think for me, man, like Chris was touching on earlier, I don't think I've ever started not 0-2. I think I start 0-2 every year. I'm I can't remember.
Wow.
I can't remember starting 2-0 or 1-1. I think I'm 0-2 at least the last 3 years, and I've made the playoffs the last 2 years. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, dude, I mean, you going up against Mahomes, you got to be scared. He's the real deal. So that brings
he's pretty good, man. He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. Fart Hounds 0-2, and Los Chimps are 2-0. Let's get into the standings. In the Earth Division, we're just talking about the Chimps. He leads the division at 2-0. He has 373 points scored. Bino Poppy 1-1, 393 points scored. Dem Lions 1-1, 385.5 points scored. The Hounds, the Fart Hounds, 324.08 points scored. So I think this is by a few hundred points, the highest scoring division.
Yeah.
Right now, because people are just throwing up some crazy scores, man. The Win Division, sure. Muff Vipers has had a rough couple of seasons leading up to this one. Muff Vipers was always, before he was the Rebel Legion, I think. He made a couple of championships or maybe a few championships and just never won the title. And he was always really, really good. But the last few years hasn't had a really good start to the season, hasn't really made the playoffs, but he's starting off 2-0. 337 points scored. Over easy, 1-1, 347.8 points scored. The Golden Dragons had a bounce back week, 1-1, 298.92 scored. The Bad Hombres 0-2. That's misleading because he scored 341 points. We talked about that already. In the Fire Division, Culon Santo, again, 2-0, scary team, 358.76 points scored. Flint Tropics bounce back, 1-1. 351 points scored. The Lady Boys 1-1, very low score this week. He's at 280 points scored. And then the Gridiron Throne 0-2, 292.96 points scored. So the Fire Division is the lowest scoring division. And with that said, let's hit Chris's corner.
Let's get into it, boys. So we're going to start with who the fuck is that guy? Cordero Patterson. 2 touchdowns, 1 catching, 1 receiving touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown, 5 targets, 58 yards, 23.9 points. And I believe he's on Culon Santos' team now. I think he might have been the number 1 waiver wire pickup. So Mike Davis has been a little disappointing, which is kind of annoying because he's on my bench. I was hoping I could maybe spot start him here or there, but he's actually been not doing too hot. And Cordero Patterson seems to be getting a lot of work. So 23.9 points, man. We'll see if he's able to keep it up.
I don't know if he's a who the fuck is that guy. Maybe more of a where the fuck is that guy been?
Well, yeah, maybe because I know he was. Well, he's a who the fuck is that guy as a running back? I know he was a wide receiver.
Oh, he scored as a running back.
Yeah,
well,
he had a rushing touchdown.
He's been a gadget player, man. They just use him kind of wherever he's gone. Like he was at Chicago, right, last year, and Minnesota before that. He's a gadget player, and he returns kicks and stuff like that. But I mean, if they're using him like this, dude,
as a running back, bro, that's crazy.
Not the same Cordero Patterson.
Not the same guy.
Is that guy? You know,
who the fuck is the Cordero Patterson running back? Yeah, exact 2.0, right? So the squanderer, we're gonna have to go with our very own
Cordero.
Gridiron throne. Corduroy Patterson. Gridiron throw. We talked about it earlier. You left some points on the bench that might have, if you would have started, maybe sat Robbie Anderson. I know it's hard to do because he had a pretty decent season last year. Yeah, but maybe going forward, I don't know. You might have to make that decision, leave him on your bench because Cortland Sutton with Judy being out, like Tom alluded to earlier, might have a better opportunity because DJ Moore seems to be getting more of the looks out in Carolina. Yeah, he's been balling out.
I picked up Tim Patrick when Judy went down, and Tim Patrick's like stable. He's like a good 2 option. So
right.
Cortland Sutton definitely you should really look into.
Right, and then somebody else had a big game for you on the bench, other than Cortland Sutton. Who was it, Mike?
Let's see. McKissick.
He had like another. Yeah, McKissick had like almost 30.
21.
Right?
21.
Oh, 21. Okay. But he outscored. Who did you start instead of McKissick?
Chris Carson.
No. Running back at Arizona.
Oh, Chase Edmonds.
Who didn't have that great of a game. So.
Yeah, but he came off of such a monster game last week. So
yeah, it's tough to do. But anyway, it was hard to pick a squander, but we had to pick one, and it's you this week, bro. Sorry. I'm sorry for your loss.
I'm pleading my cases here.
I know. The bench hitters, we had a couple. We're gonna start with Cole Kmet on your team, Tom, on the Fart Hounds, getting 1 point. I don't think I've only seen 1 point. I don't think I've only seen 1 point scored, but that performance actually was the catalyst to the first trade in the Dynasty League's history, which we'll
with that said,
get to it.
So you're saying that, but let's bring the brooms out, not because this is like a sweep of predictions, but let's get them out of here.
Yeah, that's right. Get them the hell out of here, dude. But you know what? Let's circle back to that. Let me run through the rest of this corner, and then we can talk about the trade. Let's finish off with the rest of the bench hitters. We got Tyreek Hill, like we said earlier, coming off of a 50 burger and then getting 5 points, bro. I think he was 3 receptions, 14 receiving yards, and like he had a rush for 15 yards. Not cutting it, bro. Not when you're Tyreek Hill. 5.9 points, and then Antonio Brown. Also coming back down to earth. I think he had like a 36-point game in week 1, only getting 2.7 points for the Bangkok Ladyboys. And no surprise, let's segue here. The no talent pussy of the week, the Bangkok Ladyboys with a score of 110.
You hate to see it, man.
You hate to see it.
He's a pussy. He's a pussy with no talent this week.
It's crazy, man, because this is how he was before last year. This is kind of around more of his realm in the last year. He just
what are you alluding to? what are you saying, Jose?
He's like, he's taking his rightful place. He's taking his rightful place.
No, it's just falling back down to earth a little bit. I just feel like he was just on an absolute tear last year. He was so scared to play against because he was so stacked,
Yeah. I think his like we talked about it last week. I think his team is more a win a little later kind of a team. We went really young.
He went to some really young guys,
So I think they're going to develop. He might have a scary team here next season or 2 seasons from now. But at this point, he's a no talent pussy of the week. We'll see if he bounces back.
The real growing pains that comes with drafting such a young team, right?
Yeah. Right. So let's pour them out real quick. Let's start with probably the unluckiest NFL player that I can fucking think of, Tyrod Taylor. Pulling a hammy. I feel you, brother. I pull those motherfuckers like on a weekly basis. Pulling a hammy. He's on IR for pulling a hammy. That's crazy. Yeah. At least 3 games he's going to miss. At least it's not his lung this time that's been punctured. So he's out on IR. And then
he pulled the shit out that hammy.
He pulled the fuck out of that thing. And then also for Jose, your boy Jarvis, with his knee, I think it's a meniscus. going to be out for at least 3 weeks. So he's on short-term IR. And you hate to see it when you start him and he only gets you, 1.5 points, and it's man, that's tough, bro. So that one's for you. Pour him out for Jarvis Landry. And let's finish off with the big cock on the block. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting flashbacks to fucking 2019 when this motherfucker was the big cock on the block every other week. It seemed like
Lions.
Let's not take the L out of his name just yet, but if he keeps this up, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to. Damn Lions with a score of 219. That's a monster score, and it's I hate to see it. I don't like to see that guy succeed. I want him to lose. I want him to lose. He dominated the league for a little bit there a couple of years ago, and I still remember that.
Powerhouse, man.
Yeah.
He's like the Packers of our fucking league, man.
He's always around, bro. He just doesn't suck. Like, hey, bro, just suck for a season, right?
Just suck for a season.
So anyway, before we get into next week's games, I want to talk about the little trade that went down between the Fart Hounds and Vino Poppy.
Well, yeah, Jose, you break it down because it occurred between me and Jose, between the Fart Hounds and Vino Poppy. But I was just working. I was on my laptop and I got a phone call from Jose. He was like, he texts me and he's like, hey man, are you good? And I was like, yeah. And so he just gives me a call and you take it, Jose. What was your thought process like? Because I wasn't looking to trade yet. I usually wait, week 5 or something. But kind of get into what your thought process was, man.
Yeah. So during the draft, you obviously saw everyone was like, holy shit, they got 2 tight ends, which at first everyone kind of like, what the hell? But clearly worked, well, almost, right? Didn't help this week. But my mindset with that was because I actually didn't get them back to back. I got him on the 3rd round back, right? I was just like, I thought as soon as I took Kelsey, Waller's going to go. And for some reason he stayed. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick him up because that's going to give me leverage at least to someone else, to help, a trade later on. However, as you can clearly see, like on my roster, I'm clearly lacking at the running back position and at the quarterback position. So both. Go ahead.
We talked about that last week.
Yeah. So on there, I was just kind of looking at a couple different rosters. And I was looking at Dem Lions originally and just kind of like didn't. He has 2 good running backs, or mainly his main people, but he didn't. That's his core. So he didn't. There wasn't really a trade that
to be made
sense for the both of us and stuff. So, anyways, I was looking around. I thought, I don't know if you saw Tom's roster last week, but he's clearly stacked at the wide receiver position. So, we try to do something that was obviously fair and both sides. As you saw, we also threw in some picks.
Yeah, I'll say that. Jose hit me up and he's like, what do you think about this trade? And I thought, okay, that sounds like a good trade. The first trade he kind of was talking to me about, like, okay, that sounds like a good trade. And then I think he realized like it was probably leaning in my favor, you know what I mean? Like heavily, actually. And then I was like, yeah, I'll do it, dude. Like fucking send it. I'll fucking accept that. And then he thought about it for a little while and then he came up with another trade. And that one was clearly in favor of him. Like, and then so we're like, let's just get down to it. Let's try to figure something out. I know you were trying to get like Justin Jefferson. I was like, dude, I'm not letting go of Justin Jefferson or DK, but I will deal anybody else. Those are the 2 guys that I'm not getting rid of. Like those, I wanted one of those guys before the draft. I got both of them. Mm-hmm. And so that's like my core for the future. Like I'm not getting rid of those guys.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of like, we went through multiple scenarios. And we finally settled on this one. So I think I got the best player in the trade, but Jose gets like starters that he needs. And he had a surplus at tight end. I mean, that's just kind of how it went,
Right. Yeah, getting that Kelsey, that obviously he's a little older, so in Dynasty, like that kind of evens things out.
That was my reservation because Jose wanted Lamar Jackson, and I was like, dude, I can't give up a young quarterback for an older tight end. Like Kelsey's going to be great this year. He's probably going to be great next year. But then after that, like, I don't want to kick myself in the face for letting go of Lamar. And who knows, maybe Lamar's not going to be great. But that was my thinking. It was just like, okay, I'm giving up all these players. Tom Brady's a little old, but he's consistent. He's going to be good this year and probably next year as well. Like same time frame that Kelsey's
right.
going.
I think that's what I was gonna say. I think that Tom Brady and Kelsey, given the positions that they play and how well Tom Brady fucking takes care of themselves, they'll both be relevant for the same amount of time. So they'll cancel each other out. I feel.
And I really didn't want to get rid of Debo just because he's been my most consistent guy through the first couple of weeks. But Kelsey was worth it. Like, I feel like that puts my team in a better position this season, having on it.
Yeah.
And it fills some holes for me too. Like I said, I got now a consistent quarterback that I know I can count on, and a decent, if he stays healthy, running back. Because I don't know if you've seen, James Robinson was on a tear at the end of the last season. James Robinson was putting up at like high 20s to low 30s every game. And
but there's a new coaching staff there now, and he's part of a 3-back committee. So it's like
hasn't been good so far. But
but that was kind of how it went, dude. Like I said, I was not looking to make any trades yet. Or I don't even know if I was going to make any. Like usually redraft leagues, I'm like ready to go. But I was not looking to trade, but Jose hit me up, and it's just like, get that little itch. Okay, fine. Like, let's fucking make a trade then. Let's make something happen.
Yeah. It's one of those trades where like maybe a weekend or 2 weeks in, it might not seem like it's as fair. But as soon as Darrell Henderson gets right, Jose, and you've got that lead back and that fucking offense that's like been going off. Yeah. Like that's where it's really gonna pay off for you. I don't know if he's gonna miss any time. I don't think he might not miss any time. But I know there's a little bit of an injury concern. But
I think it was like bruised ribs or something. It's nothing serious.
Yeah, that's just pain tolerance.
He might be on a snap this week.
And that's what I was taught. What the last thing me and Tom really talked about is just like, what, also like I'm just like, cross your fingers, because it's not just him, but it's also Debo. You know what I mean? So, and that's where I was just like, hey, if they stay healthy, I mean, it's going to work out clearly for both teams.
Yeah. But my reservation, though, for trading both of those guys away is that they are a lot younger than Travis Kelce is. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And like Travis Kelce's great. He's amazing. He's the best tight end in the league. But, I'm giving up youth for I'm paying a premium for Travis Kelce deserves that. But that was just kind of like, all right, fine. And so, dude. And then we threw picks in, dude, like just to kind of make it. I don't know, a dynasty trade, right? I was like, let's just fucking there too, dude.
I was wondering that. I was like, how did they settle on these picks? Like, I was like wondering what that conversation was like. Like, it'd be funny to hear it, but it was like, I don't know. I mean, it made sense.
I mean, we definitely had a couple of different picks.
Well,
too.
I gave up a lot of players, dude. I was like, I deserve 2 picks. And then I was trying to get a first-round pick, and I was like, I'm not gonna gouge, dude. I'll do a second and a fourth, and I was like, I'll give you a third, Jose.
It's funny because like we don't really, being that the league is young. I mean, it's the first year of its existence as a dynasty league. We don't really know the values of the first-round picks yet. Because like I was full transparency, I'm kind of talking to Jose, and I'm gonna try to put a package together to see if I can get one of his players. And I'm trying to work in a first-round pick yet, and we just don't really know. You know what I mean? Like what that value is of that pick. I think a couple of seasons of playing and knowing those kind of what those picks end up being and what their value is, it's going to change the way that we do our trades going forward. But right now it's kind of like the wild west because we haven't played these seasons out yet, so we don't really. It's kind of hard to gauge the value of draft picks at the moment.
So I think our trade is actually a really good example, because in our trade, he was getting someone a little bit older, right? Kelsey, right? And so that's why he was just like, I need those draft picks. I'm gonna have to kind of replace him eventually or whatever, with those draft picks. And so like if you take Vu into example, like he probably won't, if he does any trades at all, it probably wouldn't make sense for him to do anything for picks because he has a really young team. Yeah, but he try for people like, so for some studs right now.
I think it kind of just depends on the year, like in the rookies that are coming in, but it can be very important. Like Kyle Pitts, man, like coming in, and if we would have had a dynasty last year coming into it, or like Najee,
Right.
I mean, those are big picks, man. Those are great players that you can, get with a first round pick. So
yeah, for sure.
Fuck, are we gonna have to start watching college football, bro? We're gonna have to start keeping up with that shit. Like
that's the cool thing is that this can go, because we're in a dynasty now. This can go at any watching some college football or something throughout the year after footballs. Footballs, we can be like, yo, what do you think about? You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Yeah.
And so I guess maybe we're focusing on it a lot right now because it is the first trade in our dynasty league, and there was multiple players and it involved multiple picks. So that's kind of how it went, dude. Jose's been trying to sling players the last couple of weeks. He's been trying since week one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was we hadn't even played a game yet. And Jose was like, hey, man, you want to trade? Like, what, you good? Or what do you think about your squad? And I was like, I think I'm okay, man. He's like, what about a tight end? I was like, oh, shit. Here we go.
That's literally what I hit everybody with. I was like, but what about the tight end?
What about the tight end?
No, Jose
I cornered the market.
Jose had like besides Kittle, Waller and Kelsey were the guys, right?
Right.
And so and that was the weakest part of my roster was tight end by far. Obviously, Kmet scored freaking 1 point. So of course he's like, Jose's like, you want a tight end, dude? You want a tight end, huh? And
it worked.
I feel like I'm happy with it.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Sweet. Well, I guess we can get into next week's games real quick and run through those now.
Sure. So Earth Division, we'll start with Vino, 1-1 against the Chimps, who are 2-0. We will kind of look at it. Who do you guys have winning this one? Jose, we'll start off with you since it's your matchup. Taking yourself, I presume.
Yeah, man. I think the only person that, like, if he was to do this, and I'm saying this on the show, if he sees it and he does it, go for it. But I think if he replaces Claypool with Moore, I might be a little bit. I think I would go with him, but right now I really like my squad versus him. I just think if he replaces Moore with Claypool, just because I don't know if y'all saw Roethlisberger actually has some type of injury. I don't know. He's not performing. I don't know. His coach said that it's going to affect his preparation. I don't know what the hell that means. But as y'all saw,
Roethlisberger has been like that for the last 3 years, though. He's basically a butterball turkey with an arm.
Yeah. But either way, I just feel like he also almost like Tampa Bay, but way less, like half as good. He has a lot of targets, you know what I mean? And sometimes Claypool will be the favorite, sometimes he won't. But I think
it's same with Arizona, man. Like you have lots of mouths to feed in that offense, that air raid offense. So you can go either way with that one.
But for the moment, I'm gonna go with myself.
Dude, I think I'm going to go with you too, Jose. I'm looking at the matchups. I think Mahomes and Brady will kind of cancel each other out. The Rams are going to move the ball, and so I think that's going to get into a shootout with Tampa, and so that's going to be a high-scoring game. So that's going to be fantasy points for everybody there. I think Darren Henderson does have a tough matchup with Tampa, obviously, but like I said, they're going to move the ball. I think he's going to fall into the end zone, get you at least a touchdown, so that'll kind of save his day. So I don't think he's going to have like a stellar day, but he'll have like a good day, a startable day. The thing on the Chimps, man, Hopkins has been kind of like, he hasn't really had the best start to the season. Maybe this is a get right game for him against Jacksonville.
I think that's a similar year last year, right? I think it was.
No, dude, I think he started hot and then he got a little cold and then he got better.
Yeah, because last year was his first year with the Cardinals, right?
Yeah,
I think he came out with the vengeance.
I forgot to mention, like, we're talking about the trade. Sorry to go back to that, but like I'm looking at Jose's roster and I was like, I forgot. I should have done it, dude. I wanted one of your defenses, man, because I'm struggling with my defense too, Chris. So yeah, dude, I was gonna try to grab a defense. I totally forgot. Should have.
It's tough out there, man. Yeah, but like I'm looking at all the other matchups. Like I don't think Scary Terry is gonna have like a huge game against Buffalo. Mark Andrews. It's Detroit. It's a decent matchup, but you got Waller, bro. You're gonna. It doesn't matter who he's gonna play, dude. Waller's gonna outscore Andrews every fucking day of the week. And then
Derek Carr, man, he's lighting it up right now. It's insane, dude. And Waller's like the main man in that offense.
Yeah, dude. He's the blanket, like he's the comfort. You know what I mean? He's always looking at Waller. It's pretty fucking crazy.
He's first look. That's what I love about Waller.
So, well, that being said, I think you got it this week, man. I think you got it. You're gonna hand the Chimps the first loss of the season.
Chris did excellent analysis there, so I'm going to go with Vino as well. But that's just because I want our division to kind of even itself out because I'm 0-2. So it'd be best if those chimps lost.
That's fair. That's fair.
So and no, but everything that Chris said, I mean, it rings true to me too, man. I think I think that's the way it's going to go, man.
Yeah, I concur.
I got Venus Pappas.
Bam.
Yeah.
Is that a sweep?
A sweep this week.
Sweep against 2-0 squad.
Bam.
We'll see how it goes. And this is the last week of division matchups until the end of the season as well. So this is it's a big one too. The next matchup is Art Hounds 0-2 versus Dem Lions 1-1. Dem Lions put up a monstrous score.
Bro. Is this the game of the week?
I was about to say this looks like it could be a very close matchup, dude.
Gonna be a shootout for sure,
bro.
I do like Lamar's matchup this week against Detroit, so that's great. Yeah, man, but he's got Aaron Jones against San Francisco. It hasn't as a matchup here, so I don't know. Clyde Edwards-Helaire's having a rough year as well. Dalvin Cook against Seattle. I mean, I don't know, man. I got Kelsey. And Kelsey's the Waller of the Kansas City Chiefs, right, from Mahomes. So I like that matchup. And then I have Justin Jefferson and DK Metcalf playing each other in real life.
Yeah.
But I need one of those guys to go off. Honestly, man, I need one of those guys to have a monster game that that we got used to them scoring last season. Because Mixon against Pittsburgh, it doesn't look too hot.
Yeah, I was looking at who he could start other than Clyde, and I'm looking at his bench, and he doesn't really have
an obvious
better option.
Yeah.
And I think he's also starting him based on draft capital.
Yeah, but he's been shitting the bad, dude. I mean, if you just have a halfway decent starter, you can start somebody else, but he's got Le'Veon Bell, Duke Johnson, Deshaun Jackson, maybe DJ Chark, but no, Arizona's a beast defense right now. I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough because he doesn't have a way to pivot off of Clyde. I'm gonna go with the Fart Hounds to get the first win of the season.
Yeah, I agree. I think this one's gonna be a really close matchup. I think you have Travis Kelce, but he also has Hawkinson, who's been having a great season so far. But all that said,
and they're
I got Utah this week.
So I gave my little analysis. I did this last year. I'm gonna go all in Dem Lions. All in Dem Lions.
Hey,
I'm gonna go with
it's worked before.
I'm gonna go with the Fart Hounds. You fix your tight end position, and he's going against the Chargers. I mean, they're pretty decent defense, but they do give up a pretty decent amount of points to the tight end position.
Yeah.
You have Lamar Jackson up going, which is I think a better quarterback, especially with the matchup this week.
Yeah, and especially coming off of a big win, I think he's going to have some swagger this week.
Yeah. Yep. The only thing is just going to be Jones and Cook, who are really going to keep him there, possibly Hawkinson too. But if Metcalf and Jefferson just have decent games, Kelsey goes off, Lamar does his thing, I think this is in Fart Hounds' court.
Cooper Kupp's another one to keep an eye on, though.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, that's right, too.
Killing it, dude. He is absolutely killing it.
Cooper Kupp is who's the
Stafford,
bro.
Yeah, that's Stafford's Darren Waller.
They're boys now.
They eat breakfast together, apparently. They eat breakfast every fucking morning together.
They sleep in bunk beds together.
Crazy, bro.
Jerk me off, I jerk you off. What? All right, so is everyone's pick in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not a sweep.
So the win division, we're going to over easy 1-1 versus the Muff Vipers, who are 2-0. This is a rivalry as well, but I think everyone in that division's over easy's rivals, right? I mean, my wife likes to pick at people, pick on people, rather.
Sure.
But I think we're going to pull it out this week, though, man. And I just think Russell Wilson's been very, very consistent. I feel like Tyreek Hill's going to have a bounce back game as well. He's probably going to have like a crazy 80-yard touchdown or something. And that's why I'm going with over easy this week.
Yeah, I'm going same pick. I'm looking at the matchup between Nick Chubb and Saquon Barkley, and Saquon is projected to outscore Nick Chubb, and I just don't see how that happens this week. And I think that could be a big difference maker in the.
I mean, Atlanta's defense is like they're like a junior high or like an 8th grade team. So
yeah, dude,
that's probably
Saquon
could, if there's a week for Saquon to like get it going, it's against Atlanta this week.
I agree, man. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna.
You hit mute, Chris. Oh, there you go. You had hit mute. We didn't catch that last bit.
Phone call. You're gonna go with over easy, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. My bad. I got a phone call in the middle of the fucking Zoom. It threw me off. I'm gonna go against the grain here. I'm looking at the matchups, and I think I should probably lean over easy, and I'm rooting for over easy because I don't want my Vipers to start off 3-0. Like that's not what I want for my interdivision rival. But dude, I don't know. I just have this feeling that Saquon's going to be Saquon against Atlanta, and especially because he's got extra days off. They played on a Thursday, so he's got more time to get healthy. And then Justin Herbert, he's been very unlucky. Like he's been playing well, but like it hasn't been showing fantasy wise. But against Kansas City, he's going to have to sling it. I think he might have a big game. I don't know why, man. I should pick over easy. I'm rooting for over easy, but I think the Vipers are going to pull it off, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going with I'm going to go with over easy if I would personally probably start maybe Pittman over Beasley. And I think if she does that, I think she definitely has it in the bag because I don't think Barkley is going to be Barkley. So I think if she replaces Cole Beasley, then I think for sure it's going to be all her.
Dude, like Chris, Mike and Jose are just so down on Saquon, but I mean, he's coming off an injury. The dude's still Saquon Barkley. He faced the Denver Broncos, then the Washington Redskins defense, who have an amazing defensive front. I think I think he might go off, dude. I don't think it's just like Saquon, he's not going to be good. It's the Falcons, man.
I agree, but it's also play script. And again, Danny Dimes is their leading rusher, which is fucking crazy.
But he's not running like option plays, right? Not read options. Yeah. He's like running because he's scrambling, right, for first down. It's not like they're scripting him to run like they do.
Designed runs. Yeah.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
Like he's had some big runs because he's scrambling. I just don't.
Right.
It's not like, we got this guy running the ball. It's okay, Saquon. You just drink a couple more Gatorades here. I don't think that's going on.
No, I get it, but also it's. But again, I'm also saying that because you're right. I do think it's usually when he's scrambling, but on some of those scrambling plays, if you look at the past 2 games, Barkley's like he's not like he might have like a DB or something like maybe maybe 5 to 10 yards away from him where he can make something happen and he still chooses to run it instead of giving him something.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll circle back on this conversation next week. We'll see who's right. It's documented. We're good.
That's documented. You're on the fucking record here.
Hey, y'all should add that too, like just to see at the end of the year, like who's right, like add up all the points.
Right.
Yeah.
We only have one more episode before this one, so we can definitely make that happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 2. Did we split it 2 and 2, or is it 3 and 1?
I think it's 3 and 1.
Yeah, I went Muff. Everybody else went over easy.
I mean, it's gonna be super close, dude. Muff Viper's got a squad. He's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it could go either way.
Yeah, trust me, I don't want that motherfucker to win. I don't know. I just think he's gonna pull it out.
I just think he's going
to. So that one is 3-1 in favor of over easy. The next matchup is Chris, the Bad Hombres, who was 0-2, like myself, against the Golden Dragons.
Yeah.
Win of the season last week, 1-1. Chris, man, taking yourself, I'm assuming.
Man, I'm looking at the squads, and I think Golden Dragons' squad, I think it's been underperforming a little bit. I think it's better than and it's been showing in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean he was almost 2-0, bro. If Aaron Rodgers did not score negative points last week, he'd be 2-0. So
yeah, you're right. He would be 2-0. But his scores haven't been like stellar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've been like kind of middle of the pack. And Tom, I know this has worked for you in the past, and you do you're all in, and you pick the other team, and it works, dude, and it fucking works. It's magic, dude, and I really want to leave that way, but dude, I'm gonna fucking bury this pussy this week, dude. I just feel it in my fucking bones, bro. I know I shouldn't say it. I know I shouldn't be this confident. I'm fucking 0-2, but mark my goddamn words, bro. I'm gonna bury this motherfucker this week. I'm gonna drag him. My first win of the fucking season against Muchik. The Golden Dragon's going down. Calling my shot.
Come check.
That's how it. I mean, there we go, man. I think I don't even know what to say after that. He's got. I mean, Aaron Rodgers. If he can come out and perform, he's going to need that. I think Montgomery though has a really rough matchup against Cleveland. I don't expect much from Montgomery. Kenny Golladay hasn't been very good this year yet, but he's going up against Atlanta like we were talking about. Antonio Brown, Eckler against KC. He has potential there. But I look at Chris's side and I see Matt Stafford against Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay is a great defense. When all that tells me is they're going to have to throw the ball a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm expecting a big game from Matt Stafford. McCaffrey against Houston. And come on, dude. He's going to turn Houston into chorizo and eggs for fucking breakfast. Yeah, I'm going to go with Chris, man. Your matchups just going down the line. It's like, I'm going to pick the bad hombres.
I got the bad hombres this week too. I don't see it as a runaway. I think there's some good matchups on Ken's side here, but I got you, bro. I got you.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, this is a sweet man. I'm gonna go with the bad hombres too, especially with Ridley warming up. His targets are catching up and his yards per carry went up.
Yeah, and against the Giants, dude, you're right.
Yeah,
Ridley against the Giants.
So I mean,
come on, Ridley.
Ridley's weak, man.
Appreciate it.
I need it, boys.
Thank you.
Super clean in here. Okay, so now we move on to the fire division. The 2-0 Culon Santo, the 2-0 Culon Santo versus Flint Tropics, who's 1-1. Big game, man. Flint Tropics came off of his first victory last week. Showed that his team put up some points, even with Dak not really performing all that well. Well, then you get Kyler Murray against Jacksonville for Culon Santo, man, and I think that's going to be too much to overcome for Flint Tropics. Kyler Murray is going to maybe have 60 again. I mean, I'm going to go with Culon Santo just because of that, really.
I have them this week. As much as I would like for them to lose for division's sake, I don't want to see him sweep the division because that puts him, in cruise control for a playoff spot. But I don't see him losing this week. I just don't see like an obvious weakness, obvious disadvantage between him and Flint this week.
I don't see him losing this year.
Dude, yeah. I mean, we talked about it. Colon's built to fucking win now. And the matchup that the Kyler Murray matchup with Prescott, Prescott had been putting up some good numbers. He had a down week last week, but it was crazy. I heard this stat, like last week was the first time the Cowboys won a game without scoring 30 points since 2018. So they hadn't won a game since 2018 unless they scored 30 fucking points. So that defense is getting a little better, and that's bad for Dak Prescott because he's not going to have to come from behind and garbage time. And, so like all that helped Prescott as far as a fantasy quarterback. So I feel like, the Philly defense is going to be good anyway. And the Cowboys defense is going to be good. So I think that's going to be a low scoring game. And then Zeke going up against that Philly defensive line for the Flint Tropics is going to be tough because Zeke's not what he used to be. So I'm gonna have to go with Colon Santo, man. I think he's gonna pull it out.
I'm gonna also go with Roland, man.
Las Cobas.
Murray and Dak Prescott again did have a down week, but if he comes back, I mean, it's going to be solid. But I think Cal or from Tropics, I'm sorry, is only thing that might kind of make him really competitive. Dak has it. His name's Cal Throwdown or whatever. I don't know, but his actual team name
Cal.
is but if Dak and Derrick Henry do their thing, and they're not having a down week, I think that's gonna at least keep them in the game. But yeah, I have to go with Coulon.
And we'll go over to the last game of the week. Two of the worst teams in the
league. Based off of one score, I am what my record says I am, but I like just going down my roster. I don't see anybody on my team that I hate. Like I really like everybody on my roster. So that said, this is the week. This is the week my team comes to life.
bro, that reminds me of something. So I watch this other podcast, the Fantasy Footballers podcast, and they have this saying, you can't kill what is already dead. No, but I think, dude, I really think that the Lady Boys, because they went so young, they have the worst squad this year. And Mike, your squad, like, I mean, I think Josh Allen, well, I know the Washington matchup is tough, but I think that motherfucker's going to wake up one of these days, dude. Yeah. When I traded his ass to Jose last season, he was fucking playing like this. And then he fucking turned it around, didn't he, Jose? He fucking came to life later in the season, and he helped fucking give Jose the second championship that he has now. So I think Josh Allen is going to come to life here. And I think Davante Adams is he's one of those players that also gets better as the year goes on. And there it is. Look at that thing. Wow. Yeah.
Okay, it's invisible.
Put it right by your face. Give it a kiss. Give it a kiss. There we go. You got to give it a kiss, and then we'll see it. There we go. There it is. Look at that thing. The first appearance on the podcast, the freaking trophy. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, dude, I think you're gonna pull it out. And sneaky Frank Warner as your IDP. He's a beast.
Yeah, he's been throwing it down this season.
So I'm gonna go with you, man.
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna go with the Lady Boys, dude.
Yeah, go for it, man. Go for it.
Switch it up.
Nah, dude, I'm gonna go with you, Mike. I think I'm just looking. I can't. I don't. Like you said, Chris, the guys you take with your early picks, those are the guys you want to perform. And I don't think those guys are performing quite yet for him. Jonathan Taylor, Pitts, Antonio Gibson's on his bench right now. Like those guys, man, I just don't. And he took Burrow pretty early too, I think. I just look at your matchups. You look at your first three guys, man. You have Josh Allen, Christopher Carson, and Davante Adams. And I mean, those three guys are the reason why. You're gonna win this week.
Yeah.
Likewise, man. I'm going with Gridiron. I just look at Bangkok's, and I just don't. I just too young, man. I don't see any way of.
Too young. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, Mike. But hey, Bangkok's won a game though.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Say what we want to say. Bangkok's got that dub.
Who did they beat last week?
That's something that me and Chris and Mike really can't speak on right now.
Haven't tasted victory yet. So who are we to talk?
Let's put some respect on his name, man. He's got a dub.
Yeah.
But anyways,
hopefully there's no 0-3 teams next week when we talk about this.
I guarantee you there will be.
Yeah.
How many do we got? We got 1, 2. We got 3 0-2 teams. We'll see. Oh man, it's only us. We're the only.
Yeah, and they're hosting this podcast.
Over here throwing stones in a glass house. Goddamn.
Who are these fucking pussies?
League, dude. All right, boys.
All right.
You got to
Have a good one. Good luck to everyone.
Let's get out of here.
Good luck to everybody. Hopefully we can get our first dubs and everybody else. Guys, we'll see how it goes. Superliga week 3.
All right. Peace out, bros.
Later.